Class is dismissed, boys and girls.
You're in. Let's go!
If the person who you sing to can provide the wassail, you are entitled to his...
I don't have any fresh wassail, but I do have some canned wassail, so here you are.
Come to you. Damn, he's right. You found a loophole.
Take it out.
Here we come a-waffling along Elisa Green.
I think you might be referring to the Waffle House that's down the street. Might want to go there. Take care. Now, where were we? Oh, yeah.
Previously on the YTV Retrospective.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Jenny, I feel like I'm more dressed to go to the beach than I do Fiendley's Lair.
You wear long underwear to the beach?
Yes, Jenny, I do.
Check this out. Everybody. Check it out.
Welcome to the holiday festivities for the year. And this time around, we have something special. And it all centers around a reindeer. Everyone knows about Rudolph.
The Christmas special that started all. But Rudolph wasn't the only one to get a special that was done. There was Prancer, Donner, and Olive. Many stories have been told, but one has slipped through the crevice, one from 22 years ago.
Today's feature is the 2003 movie Blizzard, and it's one of those movies that has slipped through the cracks. I mean, it had a star-studded cast and crew that was very surprising. It was directed by LeVar Burton of Star Trek The Next Generation and Reading Rainbow fame, and starred Christopher Plummer, Cree Summer, and our main reindeer is voiced by Whoopi Goldberg. But how did it fare? Well, let's take a look and see. We start on a snowy day with everyone sledding down the hill as we see a kid named Jess who is sad that her best friend Bobby is moving. So they take one last bitter ride down the hill. Left, Jess sat in her room, decides to shut herself in from others. Her mom decides that there's one person that could be called upon to help her, and that is her Aunt Millie.
Only the story of one of the greatest friendships ever that has the power to heal your broken heart.
And with that, it's story time. She tells the story of Katie, played by Zoe Warner, who was usually overshadowed by her brothers Jack and Joe, often feeling isolated from the family. But there was one thing she excelled at, and that was skating. But is amazed yet terrified by this professional skater named Otto, played by Jan Triska, and offers to train her in skating for free when she gets proper skates.
Inside edge. Worst ever heard of no skates.
She ends up getting banana-colored skates and loves them. This seems like a heartfelt, harmless, coming-of-age story of a professional skater. It seems focused. If only there was a talking reindeer at the North Pole. Well, spoke too soon.
Blitzen and Delphi had the baby.
But that's not a crisis. That's wonderful news.
And An orderly elf named Archimedes, played by Kevin Pollak, wakes up Santa Claus, here played by famed actor Christopher Plummer, and informs him that the baby of Blitzen has been born. They find a few problems. They wanted a boy, and it looks more like a pony.
Well done, Archimedes.
What have I done?
Just a wonderful name. Blizzard. Delphi. What do you think of Blizzard?
It's wonderful.
They dub her Blizzard, and grows into a blizzard of chaos voiced by the aforementioned Whoopi Goldberg.
Just look around. It's a beautiful day.
Smell her. Who does she think she is anyway?
We cut back to Katie, and she has turned into an excellent skater. Things are going pretty well. However, her father gets laid off and are forced to move, much to the sadness of Katie as she has to say goodbye to Otto.
I want to stay here with you.
It's not possible, child. Your family needs you.
Tell me more about Blizzard. You said this was about their great friendship.
Skip the drama, let's talk about Blizzard's reindeer gifts. She gets caught for flying at night for not having a flight plan, and gets grounded for it. She learns that she can go invisible, and takes an elf named Jeremy, played by Jonathan Wilson, flying.
Oh, you're not gonna crash, are you? I can't look! I can't look!
Just hold on, Bag.
No, wait! It can't be the end yet.
Jeez, pick a lane, kid. Which one do you want to focus on? A coming-of-age story that helps with your problem? Or a magic reindeer? Make up your mind! Back to Katie's story, then, and things were bleak, as she leaves her skates behind, possibly looking to quit. She sees the new skate club and already not fitting in. While Katie and her brothers were roughhousing, her music box gets destroyed. In the midst of that, her cries were heard by someone.
What's the matter?
I'm not sure.
Blizzard learning she has the third reindeer gift, empathetic navigation. She ends up finding Katie, much to her shock.
Mommy, there was a monster!
What? No, Katie, it's a bad dream.
Must have seen Krampus. They meet on the roof, and Blizzard takes Katie flying above the town, and lands at her old skating rink, and gets her skates back. The next day, she walks by her new skating rink when one of the members makes a snide remark.
Did you guys hear that? Snooper here says she can skate.
This is our club, funded by the taxpayers' money, and we get him for free. Beat it, scrub!
And in hockey terms, the gloves are off. And just when things couldn't get any worse.
My father hadn't been well for some time. He was a good man. He wanted you to have this.
The doubts begin to seep in. But Blizzard shows up to tell Katie to believe in herself.
Otto is a smart man, and I have a feeling that if he were here right now, he'd say, Katie, get in there and skate circles around that little girl.
The girls have a skate-off.
That was good.
And Katie wins by a wide margin, but gets called up by the head of the skating club, and learned that the head admired Otto, baffled that he never brought on a student until now. She is accepted into the club, much to the pompous girl's dismay.
Aye, but she didn't subscribe to the New Yorker. Get coupons for free caviar.
Back at the North Pole, the training begins for pulling Santa's sleigh, while Blizzard watches them from the ground. Her friend, Aphrodite, played by Cree Summer, begins to snoop on Blizzard, as instructed by Archimedes.
I believe one day she will break one too many, and then I will banish the freak.
Don't you think banishment might be too good for her?
At the very least, I make an example.
That's what I'm thinking.
She sees Katie and tells her good luck, as she won't be there. Katie decides to skate for Blizzard, but someone sabotaged her skates. Blizzard has an idea, brings her to the North Pole, breaking one of Archimedes' rules to get some skates. Stealing skates originally meant for another child.
Ooh, wait till Archimedes hears about this.
Next thing you're telling me is that Blizzard also committed tax fraud. Katie arrives at the competition late, and begins to skate. And gets the win, finally getting the respect from the pompous girl named Aaron. Aaron's father comes in to berate her, despite doing a great job.
Then skate like one and not like some pathetic loser. Hurry up and get dressed. I will wait for you in the car.
She gains a friend in the process. When she is ready to give the skates back to Blizzard, her mom gets a phone call saying Aaron is missing, as she ran away from home. Blizzard was able to spot her with empathetic navigation and realizes she's in danger on thin ice.
I'm slipping! Can you hold on?
Katie, do you have her?
They save Erin, and she promises to keep Blizzard a secret, but forgets the skates. Katie gets a phone call from the North Pole, as Blizzard broke multiple rules and is set to go to Elf Court. If proven guilty, she'll be banished from Santa's village.
Never before has anyone broken all 3 of our most sacred rules. Therefore, I have no choice but to recommend immediate banishment.
No!
Jeremy and Donner Jr. pick up Katie and head to the North Pole, and return the skates to Santa.
Santa, please. Give Blizzard another chance.
All right, Katie Andrews. I'll grant you your Christmas wish. And give Blizzard another chance.
Were you this much trouble at the Abbey?
Oh, much more, sir.
But, son, the rules.
Well, it's a good point, Archimedes. The rules. I think there are too darn many.
No more rules.
Blizzard takes Katie home and say their final goodbyes.
Bye.
Bye, Katie. Baggage, are you crying back there?
She gets a new pair of skates, a lifelong friend in Erin, and would be able to see Blizzard through empathy. The story helped Jess, and ends up receiving Otto's medal for Christmas, and heads outside sledding once more.
Merry Christmas, Blizzard.
Merry Christmas, Mildred Katie Andrews.
So, moral of the story. Stealing is good as long as it serves an empathetic purpose? Seems legit. And that was Blizzard, and honestly, it really is a tale of two halves. Starting off strong enough with the coming-of-age story of Katie and her love for skating, and it worked pretty well. Only for the plot to play tug-of-war and then crash down with a talking reindeer and the involvement with the North Pole, with most of the revelations from that plot happening off-screen. If you took out the North Pole aspect of the film, it still conveys the message of empathy, and in a more authentic manner than the idea of empathetic navigation. In a way, it almost works as a standard sports movie. So why specifically choose this film for the year? Well, believe it or not, YTV had a hand in the making of this film, specifically the marketing and distribution. This was the movie's original poster. YTV's name is plastered front and center. YTV presents Blizzard. The movie's initial advertising included YTV's logo plastered on, it was filmed in Toronto and Quebec, and even had a behind-the-scenes special made starring YTV's main faces at the time, Carlos Bustamante and Sugarland Beard.
I know. Premiere of your movie. How are you feeling?
I'm a little nervous.
Yeah?
Yeah, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. Okay, I think we're ready to go. You grab the popcorn, girl. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Brittany Bristow from the movie Blizzard. You should go check it out. It's coming out this December, and I play Erin, and I'm very mean in it, so go check it out. You'll like it.
Orkin Steinheimer-Schmidt here, currently not watching Blizzard, but in fact stuck in a blizzard.
YTV was heavily involved in promoting this movie, and yet any release since then, the YTV name has been scrubbed off the movie. From some DVD covers to trailers, gone. This is a personal theory, so don't quote me on this one. But I wonder, considering that the movie failed at the box office, only making around $576,000, was this YTV's attempt at getting into the film industry in the same vein as Nickelodeon? Nickelodeon has a whole branch devoted to movies with projects starting all the way back in 1996 with Harriet the Spy, and found massive success with both the Rugrats movie and the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. I wonder if YTV was trying to find the same success, and hey, maybe make movies with their own animated properties. But alas, I think it was not meant to be. Thank you very much for checking out our content this year. And looking at what has been happening in the Canadian television landscape in the past year, it ended more on a sad and somber note. We have Nelvana, Canada's largest animation studio, halting all new projects after 50 years and focusing on already established IPs, Nickelodeon content basically being wiped away from Canadian screens, and another Canadian channel will go into the dark. And that would be Family Channel, going after 37 years as both Bell and Rogers are declining a new license from Family's owner, WildBrain, as it became commercially unviable, and almost all of that in the span of a week in August of 2025. It's a shame, really. I remember talking about Family a few years ago when I was mentioning how the main Canadian kids channels celebrate anniversaries. YTV had a clothing collab with Retro Kid, Teletoon did nothing and eventually turned into Cartoon Network, but Family somehow did the most. And they did the most with their channel's closure, making a... Wait a minute. Since when did Family air Sailor Moon Crystal? Huh, who would have thought? Anyways, making videos mourning while also celebrating the channel's legacy. The final show to air on Family would be Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I remember watching Family for many of the Disney Channel shows of the late 90s and early 2000s, Powerbox with shows like Power Rangers and Moncoley Nights, and even reruns of Are You Afraid of the Dark. And despite not having the channel for a few years, I managed to catch reruns of Degrassi Junior High and Degrassi High. Family Channel, it was never a dull moment with you. We'd also like to thank our cameos for the year, including Catherine Disher, Darren Frost, Matt Hill, and Michael Dobson. On behalf of everyone here at the YTV Retrospective, have a safe and Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. When we come back, we head into Marathon's first full foray into CG animation. And it's time to bust some monsters.
Next time on the YTV Retrospective.
Check this out. Check it out.
And what's the signal? Is it a hand signal or a word signal, a wink or a nod? I can't take the pressure.
Hello, son. Timmy Turner, my name is Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. Thank you for locating my long-lost son, Dale Dimmadome, heir to the Dimsdale Dimmadome fortune. If there's anything I can ever do to repay you for your kindness, all you need to do is ask.